All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Dallas Cowboys. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And now running right through it. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Prescott now on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped, and with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Jackson. Oh, it shifts past him. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Play action. Now Wentz. Looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
There's obviously nothing shy about the guys dialing up offense here. They take a shot on 3rd down, and boy, did they get rewarded, even though there was good defense on the play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st down, they run with Howard. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Shorty.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, Lou.
On the handoff, this is Howard. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017, and I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. On 1st, they go right back to Howard. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
I'm bringing it to you. 82.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
It's coming now.
Prescott on first down. Going right side, he has Witten. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Second down, Prescott. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Cooper's first catch, and good for a first down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis on a second down throw for Prescott. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he's taken down inside the 30. 19 yards that time for number 19.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. That they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Swing to the field, right. To the right.
Prescott from the gun. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it. And from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Howard. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Second and 9 now from the 21. On play action, Wentz. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll start the drive with Elliott. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Prescott. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Cooper was the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Eagles. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Throwing now is Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
On the ball. Black, come on. 82, 82. Gold.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. He leaves this one for Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They pitch out to Howard. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Forward, Tokyo. Hey, stat. Gold.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And out now come the Cowboys. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Flushed out right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On 2nd down, Prescott again. And his throw is incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
46.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. And this one is right down the middle. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Jackson now to return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Robert Quinn. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. On play action, it's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
They go play action here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. And to give this time to the tailback. And his first carry, he loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Defensively, it was Avonte Maddox with a tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Great 15. Great 15.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Caught right side. It's Jeffrey. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
82, 40.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the kick by Elliott is good. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it. But it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A first down throw for Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. So they get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down. Let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
We're going to 54. Why ain't? Here you go. Wait, take it.
The first down carry by Elliott. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Here we go, 47.
Prescott now from the 50. And he fires one incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The Cowboys on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Prescott from the gun. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Prescott now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
We're going to 54. Why ain't?
Now back to the ground with Elliott. Doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. Now Elliott. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
He'll get it up the middle. And now running right through it. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Here we go.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. And Almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Again, it's Howard. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
That boy's got 4 down. Great 15, great 15.
Here's Wentz to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Finding some room at midfield. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
They run with Howard, and he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Wentz. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Sean Lee coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
That's it. 81, 81.
To throw, it's Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. It's a big play there for the Eagles. And even 40 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the toss play, Howard. And he'll get this down only to the 18. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Come on now, Owen. Come on now. Let's go. Ron. Black, come on. Black.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll run again with Clement. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have moved out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Elliott now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Eluding the pressure right. Shakes off the sag. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. He's back to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be third and a mile. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be fourth down.
In a 2-minute drill, we often talk about taking care of the football, but sometimes it's just a matter of who wants it more. How about him going up top on a 50-50 ball and taking it away for a big play?
Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. Escaping the... And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Shorty.
They'll run with Clement, and they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Now they toss out wide to Sanders. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Eagles on third down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. And Elliott puts this one through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Prescott. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. 46.
Now Prescott. He gets it over the middle to Kyle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.